I hope it was worth destroying our entire future. Sarah froze with her coffee cup halfway to her lips. The loan documents were spread across our kitchen table like evidence at a crime scene. $50,000, my forged signature, and Marcus's bank account information highlighted in yellow. Jake, baby, let me explain. Explain what? I slammed my laptop shut. Explain how you thought I'd never notice 50 grand disappearing from my credit report? Or explain why it all went straight to your ex-boyfriend's account. Her face went ghost white. The coffee cup slipped from her hands and shattered on the floor. You? How did you? How did I find out? I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Sarah, you really thought I was that stupid, that I'd never check my own financial accounts? She started hyperventilating. Actually hyperventilating. Because she could see it in my eyes. I knew more than just the loan. Jake, please, it's not what you think. Marcus really needed help with his business, and I knew you'd say no if I asked. So you decided to forge my signature instead? I stood up slowly. You decided to commit fraud and destroy my credit without even telling me? The look of pure terror on her face told me everything. This wasn't just about helping Marcus. This was about something much bigger. But here's the thing, sweetheart. I grabbed my keys and headed toward the door. You thought you were playing me, but I've been watching. I've been documenting. And what I found out about you goes way deeper than just this loan. Her phone started buzzing, then buzzing again and again. You might want to check those messages, I said, pausing at the door. Because your entire world is about to come crashing down, and I'm going to enjoy watching every single second of it. What she didn't know was that the loan was just the tip of the iceberg. What she didn't know was that I'd been building a case for weeks that would expose everything she thought she'd hidden. I met Sarah at my buddy's wedding 3 years ago. She was the maid of honor who winked at me during the terrible best man speech. That wink hooked me instantly. What made me fall for her? She was the kind of woman who made you want to be better. When I told her I was thinking about starting my own contracting business, she didn't just nod. She spent 3 hours helping me write a business plan. When my mom got cancer, Sarah was at the hospital more than I was, bringing homemade soup and sleeping in those awful waiting room chairs. I thought I'd found my ride or die. But 6 months in, something happened that should have been a massive red flag. We were having dinner at this nice steakhouse celebrating my promotion when her phone started going off like crazy. Buzz, buzz, buzz. She kept flipping it face down, getting more tense with each notification. Babe, who's blowing up your phone? I asked, trying to keep it light. Her whole body went rigid. It's just work bullshit. My boss is being a dick. But here's the thing. I knew her boss. Janet was this sweet 60-year-old lady who baked cookies for the office. Janet wasn't texting anyone at 9 p.m. on a Saturday, and definitely not with that kind of urgency. When Sarah went to the bathroom, she grabbed her phone so fast she knocked over her wine glass. Red wine all over the white tablecloth, and she didn't even apologize to the waiter, just bolted. 20 minutes. 20 minutes in that bathroom. When she came back, it was like a different person had sat down, cold, distracted, kept checking her phone under the table like I couldn't see her doing it. Everything good? I asked. Why wouldn't it be? The way she snapped at me, there was this flash of something mean in her eyes. Like she was annoyed I had the nerve to ask about my own girlfriend's weird behavior. We left early. She claimed she had a sudden migraine, but I watched her texting the entire ride home, her fingers flying across the screen with this little smile I'd never seen before. That night, lying in bed next to her, I felt it for the first time. That cold knot in your stomach when you realize the person you love is lying to your face. I should have confronted her right then. Should have demanded to know who was so important they could ruin our celebration dinner. But I was already planning to propose, already imagining our future together. What I didn't know was that those mystery texts were coming from Marcus. And what I really didn't know was that this was just her testing how much she could get away with. The discovery happened on a Tuesday morning 3 weeks ago. Sarah had left for her early yoga class, something she'd started doing 6 months earlier. I was making coffee when I noticed her laptop sitting open on the counter, still logged into her email. I wasn't snooping, I was just going to close it. But then I saw the tab, a Gmail account I'd never seen before. sarahM.consulting@gmail.com, a completely secret account. My finger hovered over the trackpad for what felt like forever. Part of me knew that clicking would change everything, but I had to know. The inbox was full of messages from Marcus, hundreds of them, going back 8 months. My hand started shaking as I clicked on the most recent thread. "Baby, I can't wait much longer. When are you going to leave him?" "Soon. I'm working on something big. Jake's credit is perfect. I can get us at least $100K to start the business properly." "You're sure he won't find out?" "He's so trusting it's pathetic. He still thinks I go to yoga 3 times a week." I screenshot everything. Every single message. There were photos too. Photos of them together in hotel rooms with timestamps from days when she'd told me she was working late or out with girlfriends. But the loan conversation destroyed me completely. I found the perfect loan company. They barely verify anything if your credit score is above 750. Jake's is 780, perfect little responsible boy. "How much can you get?" "I'm thinking 50K to start. If he doesn't notice right away, I can probably get another 30K from a different company. The best part? By the time he figures it out, we'll be long gone and he'll be stuck with the debt." I literally vomited. Right there in the kitchen, I ran to the sink and threw up everything in my stomach. This wasn't just cheating. This was calculated financial destruction. They were planning to ruin my life and disappear together. My phone buzzed with a text from Sarah. "Yoga running late today. Don't wait up for breakfast. Love you. Love you." She was probably in bed with Marcus right now, planning how to steal even more from me. I screenshot that text too. Then I found the loan application, filled out with all my personal information, my social security number, my employment details. Everything perfectly forged with my signature copied from our lease agreement. I sat in that kitchen for 2 hours, building a file of evidence. By the time Sarah came home, smelling like hotel soap and acting like she'd just spent 2 hours doing downward dog, I had enough proof to bury them both. But this was just the beginning. Over the next week, I became a detective in my own relationship. Every time Sarah left the house, I was digging deeper. What I found made the loan look like pocket change. I checked our joint savings account first. 3 separate withdrawals over the past 4 months, each one labeled as wedding expenses. $2,800 for flowers, $3,200 for catering deposits, $1,900 for photography consultations. Except I'd never seen any of these vendors, never tasted any food, never met any photographers. I called the florist she'd supposedly paid. They had no record of Sarah Wilson in their system. The catering company? Same thing. The photography studio didn't even exist. The address was a vacant lot downtown. She'd stolen almost $8,000 from our wedding fund to spend on Marcus. But it got worse. I found her real Instagram account, not the one I followed, but a secret one with a different name. The photos told the whole story. Expensive dinners I'd never been to, weekend trips to cities she'd never mentioned. And Marcus in every single picture, wearing a $400 designer shirt I'd seen him pick out while I was working a double shift. Then I found the group chat. Sarah had screenshotted part of it and saved it in her photos. Her 3 best friends, Jessica, Maria, and Kelly, all knew everything. "How long are you going to keep this up?" "As long as it takes to bleed him dry. He's got good credit and he's stupid with money." "What if he finds out?" "He won't. Jake's the type who trusts completely or not at all. Right now, he trusts me completely. Jake's so busy working overtime to pay for our wedding, he doesn't even notice I'm never home anymore. Poor guy has no idea his own fiancée thinks he's a walking bank account. Her friends who smiled at me during dinner parties, who asked about my business, who said they couldn't wait for our wedding, they all knew I was being played." Wednesday night, I almost got caught. Sarah came home early while I was going through her dresser drawer. I heard the front door and barely had time to shove everything back and pretend I was folding laundry. She stood in the doorway watching me for a long moment. "Since when do you fold my clothes?" she asked. "Just trying to help out more," I said, my heart pounding so hard I was sure she could hear it. She picked up her phone and started scrolling through it, like she was checking if anything had been moved or accessed. She stared at me for another 10 seconds, then shrugged and went to shower. That night, lying next to her, I realized this wasn't just theft. This was psychological warfare. She'd turned our entire relationship into an elaborate con game, with me as the mark and everyone around us as accomplices. That's when I decided they would all pay. Every single person who knew and let it happen. Thursday morning, I called in sick to work. Not because I was actually sick, but because I had a mission. First stop, downtown law office of Miller and Associates. "I need to know my options," I told the lawyer, sliding a thick folder across his desk. Fraud, theft, forgery, the works. David Miller flipped through my evidence for 20 minutes without saying a word. Screenshots, bank records, forged documents, the fake vendor receipts. Finally, he looked up. "This is airtight," he said. "Criminal charges, civil suits, credit fraud. We can destroy them legally." "Good. But I want to do this right. I want them to never see it coming." Step 1. I opened my own secret bank account and started moving money Sarah didn't know about. My side contracting jobs, my poker winnings, even the cash I'd been saving for her engagement ring upgrade. Everything went into an account she couldn't touch. Step 2. I installed a hidden app on our shared iPad that backed up all her messages and emails to a cloud account only I controlled. Every text with Marcus, every group chat message with her friends, every piece of evidence automatically saved. The hardest part was acting normal. Every morning I had to kiss her goodbye, knowing she was going to meet Marcus. Every night I had to pretend I cared about her day when she was lying about every single detail. "How was yoga today, babe?" "Oh, just the usual flow. I'm getting so much stronger." Meanwhile, I'm watching real-time screenshots of her texting Marcus. "Jake's so gullible. He actually asked if I wanted him to buy me new yoga pants yesterday." Tuesday night, I almost blew everything. We were having dinner with her parents, and her dad started talking about how proud he was that Sarah had found such a responsible man to build a future with. Her mom kept going on about our wedding plans and how excited she was to have me as a son-in-law. I excused myself to the bathroom and punched the wall so hard I left knuckle marks in the drywall. How could they not see what their daughter really was? Or did they know and just not care? When I came back to the table, Sarah was watching me closely. "Everything okay? You look flushed." "Just feeling a little off. Probably something I ate for lunch." She studied my face for a long moment, and I saw something flicker in her eyes. Suspicion? Fear? For a split second, I thought she knew. "Maybe we should head home early," she said. That night, I heard her on the phone with someone, whispering in the bathroom with the water running. I couldn't make out the words, but the tone was urgent, worried. She was getting paranoid, which meant I was running out of time to pull off the perfect ambush. Friday morning, I made the final pieces fall into place. I had my lawyer draft the papers, I had my evidence organized in multiple locations, I had my exit strategy planned down to the minute. Saturday morning, 11 a.m., right in front of everyone who mattered. Everything was ready. Tomorrow was the day. Saturday morning, 11 a.m., Sarah's sister's baby shower at the country club. 35 people who mattered most to Sarah. Her parents, her sister, her 3 best friends who knew everything, her cousins, her work colleagues. The perfect audience. Sarah was in her element, playing the perfect future wife, telling everyone about our upcoming wedding. She'd even brought the fake vendor brochures to show off our plans. "Jake's been so supportive of everything," she was telling her aunt. "He's working so hard to give me the wedding of my dreams." I walked up behind her, holding the manila envelope and my laptop. "Speaking of our wedding plans, babe, I think everyone should see what you've really been planning." The conversation stopped. Sarah turned around, and I saw the exact moment she realized what was about to happen. Her face went chalk white. "Jake, what are you?" "Ladies and gentlemen," I said, projecting my voice across the room, "I have an announcement about Sarah and my relationship." Every conversation in the room died. 35 pairs of eyes turned toward us. 3 weeks ago, I discovered that my fiancé took out a $50,000 loan in my name. Without my knowledge, without my permission. The money went directly to her ex-boyfriend Marcus to fund his business. Sarah tried to grab my arm. Jake, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Am I? I opened my laptop and turned the screen toward the room. Because I have the email thread right here. Would you like me to read what you said about me? Shh, I started reading from her emails, word for word. Jake's so trusting, it's pathetic. He still thinks I go to yoga 3 times a week. Gasps rippled through the room. Sarah's mother put her hand over her mouth. He's so busy working overtime to pay for our wedding, he doesn't even notice I'm never home anymore. Jake, please stop, Sarah whispered, but I was just getting started. Oh, but wait, there's more. Sarah, should I tell them about the $8,000 you stole from our wedding fund? Or should we talk about how your 3 best friends knew everything and helped you cover it up? I pointed at Jessica, Maria, and Kelly, who were trying to disappear into the wallpaper. Jessica, would you like to explain this text you sent Sarah? Poor guy has no idea his own fiancée thinks he's a walking bank account. Or this one from last week. I actually feel bad sometimes, but then I remember how easy this is. Jake would probably thank me for teaching him not to be so naive. Jessica started crying. Maria and Kelly were already heading for the door, but I wasn't done. Everyone here who's been telling me how lucky I am to have Sarah, how excited you are for our wedding, you should know that she's been planning to leave me the moment she drains my accounts dry. Here's her exact quote. By the time he figures it out, we'll be long gone and he'll be stuck with the debt. Sarah's sister stood up, staring at Sarah in horror. You've been lying to everyone about everything? Sarah finally found her voice. It's not what it looks like. Jake's taking everything out of context. Out of context? I pulled out my phone and hit play on a voice recording. Sarah's voice filled the room, crystal clear. Marcus, baby, I can't wait to be done with this charade. Jake's been the perfect little piggy bank, but I'm ready to cash out and start our real life together. Oh, and Marcus? He's been served with papers too. Turns out accepting stolen money makes you an accomplice. The silence was deafening. Sarah's dad was staring at his daughter like he'd never seen her before. Her mom was openly crying. Her sister looked like she was going to be sick. Sarah tried one last desperate play. Jake's been spying on me. He's been going through my private messages. Your private messages? I laughed. You mean the messages where you committed fraud using my social security number? Yeah, I've been documenting evidence of crimes committed against me. Funny how that works. I handed the manila envelope to Sarah's dad. Those are copies of all the evidence I've given to the police and my lawyer. Criminal charges are being filed Monday morning. Sarah collapsed into a chair, finally understanding that her entire world had just imploded in front of everyone she cared about. Sarah looked around the room desperately, searching for even one sympathetic face. There were none. Even her own mother was shaking her head in disgust. But I still wasn't finished. The baby shower ended with Sarah's sister asking everyone to leave. Within an hour, the story was spreading through their entire social circle like wildfire. By Sunday morning, Sarah had been fired from her marketing job. Turns out her boss didn't appreciate having an employee who committed fraud and brought criminal charges down on the company's reputation. Her desk was cleaned out before she even knew it happened. Marcus called me Tuesday, begging. Literally begging. Jake, man, please. I didn't know she was stealing from you. I thought you knew about the money. Really? So when she texted you, Jake's so trusting, it's pathetic? You thought that meant I was in on your little scheme? Silence. Marcus, you're going to prison. And the best part? Sarah's already throwing you under the bus to save herself. Because she was. My lawyer forwarded me the statement she gave to police, claiming Marcus manipulated her into taking the loan, that she was afraid to tell me because Marcus had threatened her. Complete fiction. But it showed exactly who Sarah really was when her back was against the wall. Her family cut her off completely. Her dad called me personally to apologize and tell me they'd always considered me a son. Her sister blocked Sarah's number after Sarah showed up crying, demanding they remember family loyalty. What loyalty? Her sister had screamed, according to Sarah's mom. You destroyed a good man who loved you. You're not the person we raised. The friend group imploded. Jessica, Maria, and Kelly were getting destroyed on social media after I posted the screenshots of their group chat. Their own boyfriends were questioning what else they'd been lying about. Jessica's boyfriend broke up with her within 48 hours. If you can help someone destroy an innocent person, he told her, what would you do to me? Sarah tried everything to win me back. Flowers delivered to my work. 27 text messages in one day. She even showed up at my apartment at 2 a.m., drunk and sobbing. Jake, please, I made a mistake. I love you. We can work through this. A mistake? I looked at her through the security chain. Sarah, you spent 8 months systematically destroying my finances while mocking me behind my back. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. I'll pay everything back. I'll get a job. With what? You're unemployable. You have criminal charges pending. Your credit is destroyed because Marcus defaulted on the loan. You have nothing. She broke down completely, sliding down my door and crying on the hallway floor. It should have felt satisfying, but honestly, it just felt pathetic. 2 weeks later, I got the call I'd been waiting for. Sarah and Marcus had both been formally charged. Fraud, identity theft, conspiracy to commit theft. Marcus was looking at 3 to 5 years. Sarah's lawyer was pushing for a plea deal, but the prosecutor wasn't interested in being lenient. Meanwhile, my life was getting better every day. My credit was being restored. I'd started dating again, a nurse named Ashley who actually appreciated honesty and hard work. My business was booming because word had gotten out about how I'd handled the situation, and people respected that. But the story wasn't over yet. 6 months later, I got a call that made everything perfect. Jake? This is Rebecca Martinez from Pinnacle Marketing Group. We heard about your situation and how you handled it. We're looking for someone with your integrity to head our new business development division. The position comes with a signing bonus that should more than cover what was stolen from you. The best part? It was Sarah's dream job. The same company she'd applied to 3 times and never even gotten an interview. They specifically told me they'd blacklisted her after the criminal charges became public. But the real poetic justice came 2 weeks ago. Marcus got sentenced to 4 years in federal prison. The loan default destroyed his credit so completely that he lost his apartment, his car, and his business folded entirely. All that stolen money, and he had nothing to show for it. Sarah took a plea deal, 18 months in county jail plus 5 years probation. She'll be a convicted felon for the rest of her life. No more marketing career. No more country club lifestyle. No more anything. Her mother called me right after the sentencing. Jake, I just wanted you to know, we don't consider Sarah our daughter anymore. What she did to you, to our family's reputation, some things are unforgivable. Even her own family had written her off completely. Yesterday, I drove past the hotel where Sarah used to meet Marcus every week. It's been turned into a homeless shelter. I couldn't help but laugh at the irony. The place where they planned to destroy my life was now helping people who'd lost everything, just like they had. But here's the final twist that makes this all perfect. Remember Ashley, the nurse I started dating? She's Sarah's ex-college roommate. Sarah introduced us 3 years ago at a party, back when she was still pretending to be a decent person. Ashley told me she'd always thought something was off about Sarah, but never said anything because she didn't want to cause drama. Now we're engaged, planning a wedding that's everything Sarah's fake one pretended to be. Honest, real, and built on actual love instead of lies and theft. Sarah found out about our engagement through social media. She sent me one final message from prison. I hope you're happy. My response was simple. I am. Thanks for teaching me what real love isn't. 2 months from now, Ashley and I are getting married at the same country club where I exposed Sarah. Her sister specifically requested we have it there. She said it would be perfect karma to have a real celebration of love in the place where Sarah's lies finally died. The best revenge isn't getting even. It's living so well that your enemy's worst nightmares can't touch the life you've built. Have you ever gotten revenge like this? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. If this story shocked you, smash that like button and subscribe for daily drama. Tomorrow's story is even crazier.